All right. Mr. Zig, how are you?
Doing good, Thomas. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, doing
Good.
good.
Good to hear.
So, did you get a chance to see the interview with Martha on Mayor Adams?
No, I did not see that one.
Didn't get to see that one. I got a clip here that I want to play, and just for disclaimer, uh, we don't own the rights to this. So, I want you to listen to this and tell me what you hear him saying, and I was bumfuzzled by it all. What he says here, he'd like Kamala word salad
Word
stuff. But
salad. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
listen to this.
Say to those who say that your turn on this, and you're sitting down with Tom Homan last week and talking about making a safer New York, came too late.
Well, and this is why this is so important to be able to not have a bumper sticker understanding of a policy and a person's belief, but engaging in real conversations, which we don't do that much often anymore. Sanctuary City is totally different from a man-made crisis that we saw. This is what Sanctuary City states. If you're in this city and you are paying taxes, you buy a loaf of bread, you pay taxes, those are your tax dollars. You have a right to the services of the city. You have a right to the police officers. You should not be fearful to put your children in school and get health care. That's what a sanctuary city is. What a sanctuary city is not is having an unsecure border and allowing gang members to come in, rolling people into the country when you're telling them you can't work for 6 months or a year and you have to be dependent on the local cities to take care of you. We're saying that as a sanctuary city, if you're here and you are participating legally, you are provided the services as you start your pathway to get citizenship or legal status. That has always been what took place in the city, but it is not a safe haven for those who are committing criminal acts or trying to harm migrants, asylum seekers, and other New Yorkers.
Well, you see what Trent Aragua.
So my I listened to that and I'm like, so if here again a Democrat trying to make illegal legal. So when I heard him say that uh, if you're here illegally and you buy a loaf of bread, you're paying taxes, then you get everything that a legal American in New Yorker gets.
yeah, that's basically what he was trying to say. But he's also saying as long as you're going down the path
Right.
to be a legal citizen, if you're working towards that,
Right.
and working and paying taxes and part of society, you're just not a legal citizen.
Right.
He's okay with those people, which I'm
Right.
okay with those. I'm
Yeah.
okay with those people. I
Those
really am. But it's the criminals that they're protecting also
right.
from ICE coming in and sanctuary city means you're
Right.
you're protected if you come in here and do a crime.
Right.
They're even taking care of those, and those are the ones they have to weed out.
Right.
You have to get rid of these people. I'm sorry. I mean, there's no use for them.
Well, and there are programs and a way to come into this country uh, legally,
Legally, yes.
and but he said illegally. If you are illegally here, so therefore you have crossed the border without doing any stop with to the point that you are on your way to becoming a citizen.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, so my first reaction was so is if his attitude is that if you're here illegally, meaning my understanding is that you did not take the proper steps to get yourself into this country to where you are going to work your way to be citizen. So if you got yourself in here illegally, then and you buy a loaf of bread in New York City, then you get all of the benefits that an American citizen gets. So
Well,
my thought was, okay, so could that work opposite? Since you're a sanctuary city and a New Yorker is a legal New Yorker. Could it then be that since he bought that same or a loaf of bread himself, that now he feels that I should be able to go into a store and steal a $1,300 flat screen TV?
Well,
Hey, I paid my taxes.
I understand that, but if you're an illegal, you commit a crime, we shouldn't take the time to prosecute you.
Right.
No, we should get you on the first plane, bus, train
Right.
out of the country.
Right.
You're here illegally to begin with, and now you're committing crimes.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think we have to focus on the people who are committing crimes.
Right.
Not every immigrant who's crossed the border is a criminal. I don't
Right.
believe that for a minute. Okay.
Well, they are if you're not stopping and
Well,
registering and coming.
okay, technically,
coming-
yes, they
yes,
didn't go through
yeah.
the process, and
Right.
I do understand that. But
Right.
you know, if the guy in front of you is not going through the process, I'm not stopping at the border to do the right thing. I'm just getting in.
Yeah, I'm
you
just
know,
getting
I
in,
understand
yes.
that.
Yes.
But once you're here and you're a working citizen, not of the United States, but
Right.
just a working person,
Right.
you know, and you know, helping society, whatever. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But the minute you commit a crime, I don't care how small it is. I
Right.
really don't.
Right.
You're out of here.
Right.
You're out of here. You better be on your best behavior if you're coming into this country, because we've got to get rid of
Right.
the garbage that came over the border. And
Right.
There's plenty there.
Yes.
And that has to be weeded out first and fast.
Did you see what happened in Aurora, Colorado?
Oh, yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
hear
yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
I mean, that is crazy.
It's crazy. You imagine
And,
that's happening in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
What would you think? You
Exactly.
think these guys will run around with automatic weapons and they're just beating on apartment doors and just
taking them over.
yeah,
Just taking them over.
yes, we can't have that.
And then
Sorry.
you have Democrats sitting there saying, "Oh no, it's not as bad as you think."
I don't care. It's one instance is bad to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody
Right, right.
beating on the door of my neighbor and
Right.
you know, assaulting him and taking, you know, what would you think?
Yeah.
You know, you just don't sit there and
And
not do anything.
and the two people that they did this heinous crime against was illegal. Well, I shouldn't say they were illegals. They don't know the status of them.
Yeah.
But they're in the hospital, and
Yeah.
and you know, so it's crazy. And then to hear the sheriff, did you hear the sheriff deputy or the chief of police
Of Aurora?
Aurora
No,
when he
I
said that
only
he
heard it.
called Washington D.C. and somebody on the other end of the line in Washington D.C. says all they cared about was getting them across the border. That's all they cared about.
Wow.
They don't care about the crimes that they're committing. It was just getting them past the border. So my question would be then there too. Do these guys, Democrats can't be so gullible that to think that people like that are going to come across the border, start stealing, robbing, killing? We're going to vote for you though, Democrat. I'm going to go to the poll and I'm going to vote for you.
Was that vote that important?
Yeah,
That you'll
yeah.
you'll put up with that?
ain't that something?
And
That-
how many did you let in? God only knows how many actually voted
Right.
somehow.
Right,
You know, and you still didn't have enough.
right,
Okay, but still, that vote shouldn't matter to you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a decent human being, you just say, we don't want your kind here.
right,
Sorry.
right.
Go back to the country you came from. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And California now is like, okay, now all of their cities wants to be sanctuary cities. The big ones. LA went and done it. I think San Diego is getting ready to become a sanctuary city, which surprised me. I'm like, shoot, I thought you guys were already sanctuary cities. You know, it's just crazy to do what the Biden administration done. Just opened up the floodgates and just let them come in. Just let them come in and just keep them coming in. And hopefully we get enough that we are going to win elections years
Yes,
after years
that's what
after
they
years
hope.
after years.
Yes. They're hoping,
Enough good
yeah,
ones that are going to be able to stay so
stay,
that we can win
and we can
elections.
elections.
And that's all that they've done this for.
And even the Democrats saw what was going on. Some people.
Yeah,
And said,
Yeah.
they're not going to.
Yeah, you're
They're not
moderate
going to admit they
Democrats.
voted for Trump.
Right.
They're not coming out and say that. I understand that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
even though
right.
Joe Biden, was
What-
was
order.
wearing bright red.
Red
Okay, come on
dress.
now. But
Joe puts a Trump
Joe-
hat on.
I
yeah.
mean, but
yeah.
common sense people, you don't want. Well, here I got a perfect example, perfect solution to where we don't need more than 50 states. We just drop California and pick up Canada. That's what I'm thinking we should do. Let's just swap them then. California
Yeah.
wants to do their thing, just
Right.
shut the border,
Right.
put up a fence right there for all I give them, and say you can
Yeah.
have the sumbitch. I ain't put up with it no more.
And of course, I mean, Illinois is just as bad. I don't know when the people of California and the people of Illinois is going to stop, and it might be on the brink now with this new election in 2024. It might be on the brink now of people saying, "Wait a minute, this woke crap, we're going down the wrong road." I mean, so maybe hopefully, I mean, now we might see, the big news line will be Dick Durbin loses his Senate seat, is voted out. Now, what are the odds of that? But,
Well, Tommy's 80 years old.
Well,
I can't
yeah.
imagine him running
Yeah,
many
but-
more times.
but
I mean,
to get booted out, not get reelected,
I see.
that's a whole
Yeah,
different story.
exactly.
That would show that the American people and the people of Illinois is tired of it. And the people up in Chicago, you have seen the way they chewed into their mayor.
they're tired of it.
They're
Sure.
they're damn sure tired
it's
of it.
starting to affect them.
Yes.
When it starts to
Yes.
affect them personally, they're standing up and saying, "We've had enough of
We've
this.
had enough.
You're
Yes.
taking away our services
Yes.
now and giving it to people who don't
Yes.
even belong here.
Yeah.
And we've had enough. And this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
BS. And
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you see the
I
tide
mean,
turning.
Right.
You
Yeah.
really do.
It's something I'm gonna get.
But yeah. So it's going to take time.
Yes.
It's just like anything. It's going to
Right.
take time to turn things around. But you just can't have anarchy in the streets.
Right.
That just groups, gangs, individuals.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
You've got to, if they're illegal and they commit a crime, they're gone.
They're
That's
gone.
a simple rule. I mean,
But at the
there's
same
no, I
time-
made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See you later. Sorry.
Right. But at the same time, though, Mr. Zig, these guys, how many people have we heard of that? Well, he's been deported 5 times.
I know. Well, yeah, you're getting them out and they're coming right back in. I
So
understand that.
until we get the flow stopped
Stopped.
to
Yeah.
where you have to come through one of the checkpoints, then I've always wondered, well, what good is deporting them if they can come right back
Keep
in?
coming back, and they come back several times.
Right.
I mean, it's documented that they're, you ship them out, they come back.
Yeah. So I don't get that at all. But the border czar, he is talking, wild. I mean, he's had enough, and I think he speaks for President Trump on a lot of this stuff
Oh
too.
yeah. He's
That
dug in his heels, and
and that's the thing that I like.
he's no nonsense guy.
One of the things that he said that I really like is that, just because you are the governor of a state or a mayor of a state, you're aiding and abetting an illegal, and we will prosecute you.
Yeah.
I don't understand when they take the oath of office where it says in the oath of office and upholding the Constitution about illegals, making sure illegals get better life than what Americans here get. I've never.
I don't think it's in there.
I don't
know
think so.
verbatim,
But so
I'm-
where do they get this to where they say, well, hell, we can do this. We are above the law, and we can do this.
Well, like you said, you take care of enough of them, you get them registered to
Right.
vote somehow, they're going to vote for you.
Right.
Why do you think we put the same politicians in there all the time? Because they give, they take care of their voters and they,
Right.
take care of them. And it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
I just don't. I don't understand.
Where's the president stand on this? Have you seen him?
Have
you seen him
he's
lately?
MIA.
Wow.
Now he
Very
did come
good.
back into Washington, cut his trip short
Oh, he
to
did?
Delaware.
Oh,
yeah.
did he?
Yeah, they said that him and Kamala both come back in case they had to vote, or Joe had to be there to talk to members to get them to vote for the debt ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was short lived because I believe they passed
They
passed
passed it.
something.
Yes.
I haven't
they
heard the
passed something.
details on it, but they passed something.
Well, you'll never know everything that's in there. I heard it got scaled down quite a bit, but
Yes.
you know, there were still some.
Yeah, and I was listening to one Republican on the early Fox and Friends.
Uh-huh.
And he came across to me, and I don't remember who it was. This was the other day, Thursday, I believe. But he come across to me as if he was shocked that this was on their doorstep. You know, wait a minute, we got to pass this by midnight Friday night, or we're going to shut down the government. I was shocked that here it is, and we got who's going to read 1,400
pages.
100 pages.
This is how they do it.
Yeah.
They dump it in your lap
And
the night before,
right.
and hours before, and says, vote on it.
But
Otherwise, we got to shut down.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be able to go hike this summer in the national parks because we got to shut them all down because the government's shut down.
So they're smart enough to come up with this to where they can drop it in their lap.
Sure.
All Congress people, you know, they're smart enough to say, let's wait until the last minute to give you these 1,400.
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. This
But
is
hey,
no
you know
one-time
what?
thing.
We're not smart enough to come up with a law or something that says you can't do that anymore.
Well,
you can't do that. We have to have at least 30 days prior to shutdown to read over what you got.
Go over it.
No more, you know, but they can't. They're not smart enough to pass a law to do that. But by God, we can keep playing this game.
This is how they get their pork through the
Right.
spending bill.
Yeah.
Just throw it in there. Just throw it in there, and you know,
Yeah,
what? Dump it
minute,
in their lap, and by God, they're pressured to sign it. And
see, and this is the wonderful thing about that. Whose pork is whose?
Well, they're porking each other.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's somebody going, "Hey, throw that in there for you.
Yeah,
I'm going to throw this in for me.
Yeah,
make sure we all vote together, and we all get what we want.
Right.
And screw the Republicans. Screw the small guy who just, you know.
Right.
I mean, as far as I know, we're not getting nothing here in town that I know of from the federal government, you know, to build something real nice that I know of.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody is. I guarantee you there's something in there for a nice, you know.
Somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere.
And they seen it. Of course, the Vic read it. He read all that damn thing in that matter of time and said, you don't want it. And now you see that the Democrats are trying to put Elon and Donald against each other.
Oh, yeah. I saw how they're bidding it. Yeah.
Now Elon's the president.
Elon's the president, and Donald's just kind of sitting off the side.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they've run out of schemes, and, you know, they just, work together, people.
Right.
You lost. Okay.
Yeah.
You put up you threw out Joe.
Yeah.
You literally threw the president out of the White House, and you brought in a candidate who you knew wasn't going to win. I mean, you sacrificed basically this election.
And did you see where they're now, the Democrats are eating each other as far as Joe's capability?
Oh, yeah. He wasn't worth a damn then back in 2021. I mean, that's what they're saying now. So, this 2024.
Yeah.
2025
most of them said there was another senator, Coons. I don't remember what state he.
Is that the one out of Utah? I saw one out of Utah last night, the Republican senator.
No, this is a Democrat.
Really ripping it.
This is a Democrat that says that that his first knowledge that there was something wrong with Joe's mental capabilities was the debate with Trump. That was when he noticed, Joe's got issues.
Well, I'm sure he had other meetings with the president. I mean, plenty. I mean, we haven't had cabinet meetings that I've heard of, mean, which I don't understand. Somebody said the other day that Secretary of Defense hasn't talked to him for a year.
Yeah.
or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going
And then
on
the
here?
the stipulations to have
Oh yeah, to me,
conversation
have a
with him?
conversation. Don't
Yeah.
bring up too much because
Yeah.
he can only handle
stay
so much.
with the topic
Stay with Don't get him.
Don't
mixed
get
up.
off topic.
Yeah, don't.
'Cause-
And
because you
That's-
can't. I mean, and all this is now coming out, and they're expecting the American people to believe that Democrats just now noticed this. When when Republicans said back in 2019, you guys got an issue here with this guy.
Yeah.
There's no way this guy's going to win, and I don't think he would have if it wasn't,
What?
There was some
for the pandemic.
Yeah,
Oh, that worked perfect. That worked
yeah.
perfect for him.
Right.
As sad as the pandemic was, they could keep him in the basement.
they keep him in the
He didn't have
basement.
to
They
face
could
people,
come up,
you
break
know.
all kinds of laws to create new
Yes.
laws and ways to vote.
And then when you came up to
Yeah.
the debate where
Yeah.
80 million people, whatever, you're front and center.
Yeah,
You can't hide now.
yeah.
You're out in front of everybody, and it's
Right.
one-on-one, and you
And to
you
think-
saw what happened.
And to think, you look back at that election in 2020, and you're thinking 81 million Americans said that's my guy. He can't get out of the basement. He can't do it. That's my guy right there. 81 million voted more than any time. Not even this last election had neither candidate come close to 81 million.
When you look back at it, and I know we had to put up with the Democrats for 4 years and
Right.
Joe for 4 years, but it really, I think, worked out great for Trump
Oh yeah,
because it
yeah.
gave him a 4-year step back, look
Right.
at this over,
Let me fight all of these court
get
battles,
all this done,
and now all of those are falling
and
apart.
then when I get back in there the next time, I know who I want where,
Right,
and I
Right.
know how to run this, and
right.
it's on him now. I mean,
So
you know.
so now that New York case, my understanding is that they're saying, hey, we're going to hold on to this until you leave office.
yes, the can't think of the judge's name, but
Yeah,
don't-
Moran or
I
Moran?
can see his
Yeah.
face, but I can't think. Yeah, he's hell bent on we're gonna hang on to this, and by God, we'll throw him in jail after he gets out of the presidency.
Right.
I mean, that's
So at some time, is it there a statute of limitation?
I don't
And
know.
or
Not a lawyer, so I can't answer there.
so let's put it into this scenario. Oh, Joe, doesn't know, but he's on a pardon binge.
Oh yeah.
He pardoned everybody. So
So you think he'll pardon Trump? Is that what you're saying?
no.
Oh, okay.
I think if Joe is going through and pardoning, I don't know who I heard it's like over 2,000 people he has pardoned.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most
Yeah.
has pardoned the most people.
Yeah,
of
said
any
the
president.
closest one to him was Obama with
Yeah.
900.
So
But he's over 2,000 people. I mean, you have to sit down and look and see. I mean, are any of them Liz Cheney? Adam,
Schiff.
no, the,
Oh, Kinzinger.
Fro-
Kinzinger. Is it Kinzinger from Illinois?
yeah,
That's what I'm thinking of.
yeah. Are they pardoned? Has he pardoned those guys? Have you heard? I mean,
I haven't heard.
haven't heard. I haven't heard neither.
Well,
I
what
just,
are they pardoned from?
yeah, I mean,
have they been convicted of anything?
right. So, but my
I mean,
point,
how do you get pardoned if you haven't been convicted?
yeah. You haven't
don't
done
understand
anything
it. You
wrong,
haven't done
so I'm
anything
going to pardon you. So that's my point. So why can't 2029 rolls around and
Jesus.
Donald Trump is getting ready to leave and he says, I'm pardoning myself from all court actions that are
Cool.
against me.
Cool. Well, it gives them something to talk about. you
Yeah.
know, I mean, you
Yeah.
know.
So then, but boy, those Democrats would be, oh, he can't do that. He can't do it. They just blow up.
Oh God, yeah. It'd be
He did that. I mean, so we're going to have to find out the stipulations and what's going on with Biden here, who he is pardoning.
pardoning.
I know that some said I heard something about Chinese spies were involved in some of the pardons, or doing some swapping
Well,
or something. I mean,
Joe's in bed with the Chinese.
oh,
you better
yeah.
watch it. You know,
Oh,
he
yeah.
takes care of them. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's-
I just, you know, be glad when he's gone. I
Right.
mean, he's gone. You
Right.
haven't seen him. He's
Right.
I mean, he's not running the country
Yeah.
anymore.
And
I
that
mean,
makes you,
just
that brings the question, who is running
who's
the
running
country?
the country? Well, his advisors,
Yeah.
maybe people behind the
Yeah.
scenes are basically.
And therefore, I mean, and I think too, a lot of it is that the reason why these Democrats never wanted you to get admit about his mental health is because later on there could be, well, he was insane when he pardoned these people. So therefore that should be overturned. And a lot of his stuff. I mean, they're saying that even in that damn Afghanistan withdrawal, there was nothing from Joe. Everybody was trying to get a hold of him. Could not get a hold of him.
That's
And there was
so
one
wrong.
lady, a Democrat reporter, who says that, she says, I called up President-elect Trump to try to get a meeting with him and an interview with him. And basically, he told me to go fuck myself. But she says, at least I got a hold of him. I called Joe, and I'm through 50 freaking people before. He's not available. Hell,
Do you have the number to Mar-a-Lago?
yeah.
Why don't you just give it a call and see if we can get the president online?
Let's get,
You know what?
Yeah.
Knowing him, he might just.
Yeah. He
The
might-
whole
he
state's
might
in
wanna-
Illinois. Well,
he
all
might
right.
help us out.
He might say, "I already know how bad it is in Illinois.
Yeah.
I feel sorry."
That's
for
why
you."
we're starting there first, deporting people. so you got yeah. But I like the fact that it is, that Homeland or the borders are. Tom Homan is if just because you're a governor, if you aid and abet, we're coming after you.
That's basically the law. You
Yes.
can't,
Yes.
and I mean, if you want to.
I mean, if my brother, which I don't have one, but let's say if my brother went out and robbed a bank, and I knew he robbed a bank and brought him home here and hit him,
hit him, yeah,
what do you think they'd get me for?
you're going to.
Yep, aided and abetting.
Cheryl have the whole house to herself.
Yes, yeah,
because you're probably
Yeah.
not coming back. Sorry, Volker.
not for a while
Not
anyway.
for a while until they bail you. But,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I hope, like I say, I hope we see a lot of that in this next election or next
well, I hope we
term.
see it quick.
Yes.
I want to see action quick.
Yes.
I want, and
Yeah,
I hope
stop
it's
the
right
talking.
there. We're saying,
Cause-
stop the
Because to
talking.
me, I
catch 'em.
think, there's a lot of, you're a career politician, you're safe. Trump's an outsider, we're going to go after him. That's why we're going after him. We're going to make a martyr out of him so that other people, other billionaires that's not in our circle will say, well, after what Trump went through, there's no way I'm running for president.
Well, I think he's a special case.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a easy target these days. He's always been.
Right.
Just whether you like him or love him.
Right.
I mean, it just everybody's got their own opinion of him, and like I said, these next 2 years, especially, we're going to see what he can really do.
Yep. We're going to see the
And we're
true
gonna see
colors
where- and we're
of
gonna see-
Republicans.
And Republicans, we're going to see
Yep.
where the country's actually going.
Yep.
And in the midterms, we'll see what the people really like.
Right.
If they don't like what's going on, there'll
Yeah.
be changes.
Yeah.
I mean, then you've got a lame duck Trump,
Right.
basically. And if they lose the House or Senate, and maybe both,
Right.
and
We'll find out if this was just a fluke in 2024's election.
sure,
Because if the Republicans the next 2 years will do what they say they're going to do to get elected, then, 2026, there should be more Republicans
Going
or
in.
those guys
Sure.
voted back in.
Exactly, should
Yeah.
be if they do what they said,
Yes.
and they have the chance.
Yes.
They have a chance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Democrats, they're just,
Yeah.
Shapiro, out of Pennsylvania, and what's his name, Gavin out of California, chomping at the bit. These
Yeah.
guys are like, and Kamala, she thinks she's coming back in 28. I'll give you every nickel in my wallet. if she makes it, if she's president
Right.
in 28.
Nah, she won't
know.
even be. She'll do just like she did in 19 or 20. She'll get first. Iowa will get rid of her right off the bat.
Yeah, because I just
Yeah.
And don't give me this first. Now we're starting to see who said it the other day. Oh damn it! I can't think of somebody said. I don't think. Oh, I think it was Justin Trudeau out of Canada says Americans. I don't think they'll ever elect a woman as president.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like
Yeah,
I got
his
nothing
little
against a woman as
sensitive side.
president. Put up the right woman.
Right.
For one thing, don't put that up.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's not good.
Yeah.
And you knew it.
Hillary
You knew it
wasn't
And
good.
Hillary wasn't good. You knew it. But I'm sure
Right.
there's other good women out there who could maybe
Right.
be on the Democratic side and be good.
Right.
But not.
Well, there's a lot of good ones on the Republican side.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be.
Hell, I'd vote for a woman. I have no problem with that
Right.
at all. But
Right.
there's no way Kamala.
No.
That woman is. I like her now though when she talks. I think she's hitting the bottle.
Yeah.
Allegedly hitting the bottle. Because boy, she looks like she's just having the time of her life and just blurting out whatever the hell comes to mind. She said something the other day. Wow, I had to have the wife come down and listen to this. I go, listen to what she said, and it was something like, I don't know what it was. And she looked in the camera. She goes, "Yeah, I just said that."
Yeah.
And busted out laughing. I go, "What? She's drinking. She's got to be drinking. That's something somebody says at a party." God bless her. But anyway,
God love
got
her.
anything you want to talk about today? Besides, I think we're beating this election up, for Christ's sake.
Oh shoot.
Oh man.
Yeah. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Boy, yeah. I think you're right. I think she's on the juice.
She
man.
looks
She's-
loose as a goose and just
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm having fun, and
Yeah.
we all need to be this or that,
Yeah.
and and keep the fight. She said, "Fight, fight," and I'm like,
Yeah.
Where did I hear that before? Fight, fight, fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
who you fighting,
Yeah.
and what are you fighting?
Yeah.
We're trying to turn the country around from
Right.
You were the border person. I won't
Yeah.
even call her a border czar. You were the border person to take
Right.
care of the border.
Right.
All you
And
gotta
didn't
is
do
go down.
that.
First,
Couldn't even do that right.
First trip, you should have said, "I'm down at the border.
Yes.
I'm going to talk to the guys now. What do you guys need?"
Yeah.
Boom, get it done.
Yeah. How did they spin that? What did they say that she was root causes? Yeah. She was down there. She wasn't the border czar now. She wasn't the border czar. She was there for root causes, to find the root causes of why all of these immigrants are coming up to our border. Yeah.
How hard was that?
So we're still waiting on the results of
Results of
that.
that?
But
Well, by 2028,
but now that
we'll
she
have-
didn't get reelected, I guess we'll never see the results of the root causes of why everybody's coming back here. Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Oh well.
But yeah, I mean, and it's like they say, you can't make illegal legal. Now in Washington D.C., they do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
It's illegal to have insider trading unless you're a representative, or a congressman or a
yes,
senator.
yes.
Okay, then it's legal. Then you could. I heard that Nancy Pelosi has made has a 65% return on her stocks. 65% return.
At least she's
on her
good
stuff.
at it.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
I
do
don't.
it, be good at it.
I think she's as good as Warren Buffett. I mean, when it comes to that, I mean,
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure she doesn't have any insider trading going on there. No, I don't think that's going on. Do you think that's going on? Could that be going on?
I have
No
no
way.
proof
No,
of that.
because
You know,
that's
I-
illegal.
I'm sure she
See?
works hard at her stocks.
See, that's
and
one of
keeps an
those
eye
things. Yeah, it's illegal, but we made it legal for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Ain't it great to be a congressperson that is above the law?
Well, that's why you always want to be elected.
Yeah.
Why would you ever want to quit that job?
Yeah, exactly.
Until
why
you're
they-
just ready
yeah.
to,
Yeah.
go spend your money.
Right. Right. And no matter how shitty of a job you do, you still get reelected.
Once you get your name out
Yeah.
there, you're
Hell
in. You're in.
I bet you dollars for donuts that Dick Durbin doesn't even get someone to run against him. I just go, nope, I ain't even going to waste my time. Of course, now they may look at it a little different because Chicago's pissed. Those people up there in Chicago are pissed, and they're talking about making that a red city now.
Red City. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Yeah. So now a Republican might be able to go up there and take a bite out of his ass, you know,
Yeah.
because it could be turned around big time now.
Well, time will tell, but like I said, he's 80 years old. I mean,
Yeah.
he's at the end
Right.
of his rope.
And all of the
It is-
stuff that his wife has benefited from. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there that we'd have to do research on.
Yeah.
But I've heard that there's a lot of shadiness going on there. But it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. So anything on the drones? Have you heard any more? Have you been up to date on that?
No,
I
I
mean,
haven't heard much. Are they still flying?
They're still
Are they still up
they're
there?
still
I
flying.
mean,
And they have put out a warning to the American people: don't shoot them down.
can't somebody chase one
Right.
of them all night and just see where it lands?
Yeah, yeah,
Just like it's got to come down sometime, right?
Right.
Doesn't it?
right.
So can't you just kind of like
Yeah, they say
narrow off an area and go, this has got to come down somewhere. I've got to
Yeah.
figure out where this damn thing's landed.
well, it's like I said.
Unless it's in
they said that
secure areas,
right.
Or
Right.
and then that, what's that tell you?
Yeah, if it's coming down inside the military base, then,
Exactly.
well, then it came from there.
Came from, yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's got to.
We know where they're coming from, but they're saying that they're coming off of the water, the ocean. Last I heard.
So,
Yeah.
I did hear one congressman, I think, says there's a mothership out there, which kind of scared me a little bit. Like, all I could think of was Independence Day. It's like, there's a mothership out there in the ocean sending
Yeah.
these this way.
And that was
that's
that was a big old mother ship.
now I'm worried. now I'm worried that we can't even keep track of the mothership.
Yeah.
Like, nobody saw that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. With all of the satellites we have up there, we don't know if there's a mothership out there or
out
what.
in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these things. They're not hurting anybody. I don't know.
And
I mean,
that's
are they
yeah.
collecting information? I don't
Right.
know.
Some said there was a rumor that it might be a lot of it is that they're trying they believe that thanks to Joe and Kamala for letting all these illegals in, that some of them have brought in nuclear and that they are planting nuclear around New York City, and that they are radioactive drones to see if they can get the spot
Really?
nuclear activity.
Wow.
Right.
Well,
But they don't know, they don't know where they're coming from or when they're landing.
which is
Yeah.
odd.
But which too now they've picked up the top secret meetings. Congressman, come on in. We'll have a top secret meeting on this.
I mean,
So-
we've got portable radar, I'm sure,
Yeah.
somehow that you can send out there to
Right.
figure out where these are. God, we got to have the technology to track things. My God, we can track an airplane from one end of the country to
Right.
the other, and
Right.
But
Right. Well,
I don't
like
know.
I said,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just weird.
like I said, I think that it is something. A lot of them are going to be technology that's going to be able to be used against Americans, and that they're just trying this stuff out. I mean, I'm sure that they're all going to come. Hey, there's no more drones over New Jersey, and years down the road, it's going to be, how in the hell is the government doing that? Well, remember all those drones?
Remember all them drones and all that stuff
Yeah.
they were doing?
Yeah.
All that? Yeah.
Yeah. So and I mean apparently back I believe it was around the balloon incident when
Mhm.
China had the balloon coming over.
Which makes it look all bad to
Yeah.
begin with. I mean, you had the balloon that you let fly all the way across the country.
Well, what
And now
really?
you got this.
Yeah.
And you're not doing nothing about this. So you're,
Right.
the public is skeptic. of
Right.
What the hell's going on here?
Well, what really makes the balloon incident look bad is that it was a civilian in Montana that looked up and said, "What the hell is that?" Now, can you imagine being at the Pentagon and saying, "Hey, Joe Blow in Montana says there's a balloon flying across the what? What? Wait, you know?
Well, where the hell's NORAD?
Yeah,
You know, and aren't they like, you know, are
Yeah.
they just, you know, sitting around
Exactly.
playing on their phones or what?
Yeah.
I mean, aren't they supposed
What?
to be tracking the skies like all the time?
right, right. Yeah,
I don't-
damn, there is.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well,
Is that
yeah.
one of ours? No, it's not one of
No,
ours.
just let it go then.
Yeah.
Hell, just
I believe it's one of ours. Okay, just let it go. We'll see what. And then it gets across America. Oh no, it isn't one of ours. It's China. Well, let's blow her down then. And you haven't heard anything, then that'll all be top secret. I imagine you probably wouldn't want to hear what they discovered
what they discovered.
on
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
scare the people,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
with something. Any
Yeah.
more than these drones. You might just say, well, we don't really want to.
Well, and now that
You
Mayorkas came out and said you can't shoot down drones, then I imagine the Iranians and the Chinese and the Russians are like, oh.
Well, yeah, we'll fly whatever we can now. Since
Now,
they're not
yeah,
going to shoot them down.
we'll be right in amongst all of those flying over there now.
Well, it's either
Yeah.
that or you know it's the government's then.
Yeah.
Because he's covering for the government saying, don't shoot them down.
Right.
Because, you know, but he doesn't want to say, don't shoot them down because they're ours.
Right.
He just says, don't shoot them down.
Right.
You know, just makes you sit around and think, well, why the hell did he just say that?
Why?
And why didn't he just say, yeah, we're testing
Right.
some stuff.
We don't know. We don't know. We know they're not harmful, but we don't know where they're coming from. Is what our government said. So
Oh,
don't
well.
shoot them down. We know they're not harmful, but we don't know where
Well,
they're coming.
well, that explains the last 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much
That's
to a
about-
T.
yeah.
We don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know anything. We're
Right.
just- where's Joe? I don't know. He's in
Yeah.
his room. I don't know.
Yeah. We know Joe's way out there, but don't say nothing.
He's back in Delaware, where
Yeah.
he likes to be a lot.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Oh, well.
I guess he's back in Delaware.
Oh well.
I'm
Not much longer. I'm sure he just like
a little under a month.
Get this over with, and you know I'm not a big book reader,
Mhm.
but you know I imagine there's going to be a couple books coming out.
Oh,
You know, of the Biden presidency, behind the scenes,
right,
and you know, hopefully there's a good one out there that you might
Right.
want to read and just really,
right.
you know, see what went on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure because they're, like I say, the Democrats are eating each other now over when they knew what they knew and about Joe's mental abilities. I mean, if the mainstream media would list the Republicans, they would have got that back in 2019 when he was running.
Yeah,
You know,
but
every-
once the American public saw it,
Right.
on TV on the debate,
Right.
well, there was no hiding it no more. You
Right.
couldn't hide it no more.
Well,
You know,
I
you-
couldn't believe you tried to hide it to begin with because you could
Well,
see that there was something wrong with
Sure,
this man.
but you couldn't
Back-
really prove it till he did the debate.
I
When
mean,
you
he's-
saw it firsthand. You're like, I've had
I-
had grandparents who act like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I, you know, and they were losing it.
I don't
you
know
know.
when the first time was. We could go back and check. I definitely knew that there was something wrong with Joe when you're the only man on a stage and you turn to shake somebody's hand.
Yes.
So go back to that point.
Point.
Let's
and
say it
go
was
from there, whatever that
2022.
was. Yeah.
You don't. You're telling me that he and he's normal. There's nothing wrong with Joe's mental ability there.
It's just
Yeah.
an honest mistake, Tom. He just turned the wrong way. You know,
Yeah.
I just, oh well.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you
he's-
say. I mean, you know.
Hey, he did what they wanted him to do.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know.
that's good.
So
They,
But-
pro-
but with-
they propped him up and,
Right.
and used him basically until they didn't need him no more.
Right,
And they
right.
realized we're going to lose if we don't throw
Right.
him out.
Right.
And I wish more would be made of you threw him out.
well,
You-
right,
Yeah, I know he says, yeah, I decided not to run.
right.
Yeah, you decided not to run because they ganged up on you
Right.
basically and said,
George Clooney
get
and,
the hell out.
and the Obamas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's sad that it came to that. To
Right.
be honest with you. But
Right.
well.
Yeah, because like they said, if it was Joe's decision, as a decision, he should have made in 23 to give him
Sure,
a chance.
give him a
to,
chance. He should have looked it over and said,
Primary.
"You're going to need time for a primary. I'm not going to run
Right.
again,
Right.
and I'm going to be a one and done. And this gives you guys a chance to get a field together,
Right.
and get some momentum in convention, blah blah blah,
Right.
and you get your candidate, and then things might have been different,
Things. Yeah.
but they just hosed this to death. Oh my God!
Right.
When you look back at this, they just made a hell of a mess of all this.
Right.
I mean, you knew after, I think she did when she was pushed up to be the Democratic candidate. Tom, I think it was like 45 days later before she came out and even talked to the public.
Right.
It's like, my God, I'd been out there the next week throwing
Well-
my message out there every week. I
Right.
mean, you should have been out there every other day talking to people, but you
Right.
were so bad at it.
Well, you've seen her talk.
Well, I know,
I
but,
mean,
but
you know,
then,
you-
then you can't put her up there.
They.
But Joe did. Joe's the one who said,
Right.
then she should be the candidate. She's
Right.
next in line, blah, blah. So but
Right.
that's when, they already threw Joe out. So somebody
Right.
should have stepped in and said, no, she's not. We'll appoint. I don't know if they can do that. I
Right.
don't know how that works.
And
be
it's
honest with you.
amazing. I mean, guys like me and you don't understand the concept of, $1.5 billion. And to go through
Yes,
that
go
in
through-
6 freaking months.
What?
And not only that, but overspend. Now you're $20 million in debt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, and what did you get for it?
I know. You look back, the way they ran that campaign,
Oh,
it was terrible.
It was
just-
terrible.
yeah.
Well, I
Just-
think in the beginning, they thought that they were going to try her like they did Joe. Let's
Yeah. Just keep her
keep her
low,
away.
keep it down,
Keep
keep
her
her
away.
away from the
You
public.
can't have her getting up there talking because God only knows what she's going to say.
But then you back to Trump. He just did the simple things.
Yeah.
I'm going to the barber shop.
Yeah,
I'm going downtown to a construction company.
Right.
We're guys who get up in the morning and go to work at 6 in
Right.
the morning and start working. I'm going to go here to the grocery store where the guy got, shot at.
yeah, or killed that.
Yeah.
Killed that
And-
guy for trying to rob him.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did the simple things. Gets in a garbage truck, for Christ's sake.
Right.
And since Joe called it his garbage,
Yeah,
where the hell's somebody smart?
Right.
Somebody smart in his campaign says,
Right.
get a damn garbage truck.
right.
Get it
Yes.
and put him in a vest
Put-
and throw him up there.
Sure.
And
Right.
just the optics of it.
Serve those fries.
Yes.
Would you like fries with
I
that?
forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, because they went off her saying she worked at McDonald's. So
Yeah.
he's like, well, hell, I'll go to McDonald's
Yeah.
and do this.
I'm a billionaire and I can go
And
to
I can go,
McDonald's.
yeah.
and
So his
Yeah.
campaign was so simple. They just reacted to all the stupid shit that they said and just countered it.
And that's
with
the
easy
only
stuff.
way you're going to beat this woke crap.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Is by getting woke ourselves, or just pointing it out.
Just
That-
point it out. Just counteract it. And
Yeah.
just say, look, this is what you want.
Yeah.
This is, I mean,
American
here's,
people, this is what you want.
Here's
I
our
mean,
guy. He'll go to McDonald's. I don't, he'll go to
Right.
the.
Hell, look at him on the plane. That picture of RFK Jr. and
Oh, yeah.
Elon and Donald Jr. and
Yeah.
the Speaker of the House Johnson. Look, I mean, hell, they were all eating McDonald's.
Yeah. I mean,
So
whether they ate it or not, I don't know, but it was
Yeah,
all there.
it was there,
It was
yes.
a good picture, and
Right.
and it was just
but I mean, he was it Burger King or McDonald's that he fed the NCAA champion one year back when he was president.
You're right. He did.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
He had
Yeah.
a ton of
Yeah.
McDonald's food in there. I think it was McDonald's, may have been Burger King, but it
You're
was
right.
one
You're
of them.
right. But I mean, he
Yeah.
just relates to the common folk. I mean,
Right.
whether you like some of the things he does, I know he's out there sometimes on
Right.
some of this stuff he does, but
Right.
boy,
He
he
just like
he can
everybody
reach
else.
back and be like the common, like your buddy down the street. Let's go here or there and hang out and
Yes.
I don't know. It's
Yeah. So do you think Doge is going to do anything? I mean, they're like I say, they're trying to pit Elon against
Trump.
President-elect
well, they
Trump.
they probably just laugh that off.
Yeah.
They just go.
I would
okay,
hope
you
so.
know.
Because we do know that Trump has an ego,
Well, yeah.
and
yeah, but-
once course, I don't think Elon has went against him, because the way they talked, President Trump can't get Elon out of Mar-a-Lago.
He loves it down here. Like, oh, this is a pretty good place.
Yeah, he like someone.
like hanging down
I heard
here.
somewhere where he's looking to get a $100 million penthouse or something down there. I mean, he's ready to stay.
Hell, let's just move the White House down here. What
Yeah.
the hell? We don't have to be in Washington.
Hell
we
no.
can run it from down here.
No. But yeah, I think if they can get in there now, their problem's going to be is where the Republican rhinos are going to come
Sure.
in,
Where
is
they
when
come
they
in
start
and
cutting
start-
money, and
Mm-hmm.
him and Vivek.
That's where you're going to have some fights,
Yeah.
some real
Yeah.
fights, and but I trust Elon and Vivek. They're
Yeah.
good businessmen. They're very successful.
yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Right,
They're already rich.
right.
I mean, do they need to get more rich? I don't know.
Right.
But they know.
Well, and you already got the spin from the Congress people that says this is not a business. This is Congress. Got to negotiate.
No, now there you can
Yeah.
see. There's your problem.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why Trump was voted in the first time.
Right.
He's a businessman. You need a businessman, I believe, to run the country.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, because this negotiating, there's no negotiating.
Right.
Here's your 1,500-page budget.
Right.
Boom. What negotiations were there? Here,
Right.
sign it. You got a day to sign it. So
Right.
don't say that shit and then say, well, no, we need to negotiate.
Right.
No, you're not. You're pushing shit like that down their throat. And
And then, as far as the American people go, okay, so who came up with this 1,400-page
budget.
document? Budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, a budget. Who came up with that? Did Republicans and Democrats? Because the way, if you listen to a Republican, all the pork in this budget was for Democrats. That's the way they come across to me. No Republican put any pork in that at all. And then, of course, you heard the House Secretary, what's her name? The three, oh dang it, Friday, that they had a budget, a partisan bill
Mm-hmm.
agreement
Mm-hmm.
budget, and she kept saying that time after time after time after time, that they had a partisan agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans blew it. Elon and Donald didn't like it, so they blew it, and now they got to be the ones fixing it. But we had a partisan agreement, and that's all that every time a question was asked, that's all she brought up. It was a partisan agreement. And you didn't see that?
I didn't see that. No,
Well,
I didn't see
yeah.
that.
That was yesterday. On Friday, they
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But it's it's crazy to think that all of a sudden here's 1,400-page budget.
when you've got one day to sift,
yeah.
sift through it, and
Right? You
Vote
knew
for it.
last year that you were going to have a budget. Why did you wait until Wednesday or Thursday to give them?
to dump it on our lap
Yeah.
and say, here, vote on it Friday. We're going on Christmas vacation. As soon as you get this voted in, we're out of here.
We're out of here. See you
American
next
public
year.
won't give a damn because it's Christmas. They're
Yeah.
they're waiting on Santa.
Yes.
Their mind is on the holidays. So we'll just slip this through here.
Yeah.
And that's when they do that shit, Tom,
Right.
on Fridays.
Yeah.
Believe me, because the weekend,
All of the
nobody pays attention
well,
too
hell
much on
no.
the news on a
Worked
weekend.
all
unless it's-
week, and
yeah,
I'm ready
you're
for
like
the weekend.
you're away from TV. You're away
Yes.
from a lot of stuff. And this, it's they came up with the budget. Oh, we're in debt, $35 trillion.
Right.
Doesn't affect me. Hell, I got a nice car and a nice house.
Right.
Why the hell does that affect me?
Yeah.
And man, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
oh well. Anyway,
Press secretary. That's who I was trying to think of. Yeah. She was. All she said.
Pierre. What's her
yeah.
name? I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Katrine.
Jean Pierre or
Jean,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about done with her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss her.
Oh God.
She's a good fighter.
Yeah.
She does her best. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not an easy job to
Right.
to kind of make up for Joe.
Right,
What Joe
I mean-
said, what Joe means. But
We
God
had
bless her.
a partisan agreement. I mean,
Well, it wasn't a good one. Just because
Yeah.
you have an agreement,
right.
Tom, you've negotiated plenty of contracts.
Yeah.
Some guys would look at it and go, well, you got an agreement, you're endorsing it,
Right.
whatever. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good agreement.
Right.
So
Go back to the
I
table.
vote wrong. So back table and get something better.
Right.
I mean, that's how that works.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's
you know,
yeah.
bipartisan could be 800 to 2.
Right.
Hey, okay, we had two Republicans like that. What the other 800 Democrats like the 2. So what's the
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah. It just get crazy.
But you're right with the 30 days. Present it 30 days before
Yes.
and give them 30 days to go over it.
Yes.
And then we come back and fight
Yeah.
during those 30 days. Say,
Yeah.
no, this ain't going to work. That's how you work it.
Right.
And then you get to it and go, boom. Okay, we found
Right.
something we like.
So we're
and
30 days out from this expiring. So
Yeah.
you give it to us, we look it over,
Look it over
and then
and-
at least a week,
Yeah.
and then we come and vote on it.
Yeah.
And then, you
or
know,
if you want to have discussions on
Yes,
it, debates
or
on it,
discussion.
you go and
Yes.
then you can come to a.
right. Right.
It's not hard. A lot of this stuff is
The other
hard
thing-
to do.
The other thing I like about that shutdown clause of, we're going to shut down the government. and usually it's the low end of government workers that are the ones that are affected by it.
Sure it is.
Yep.
Yep.
And you I've asked myself this. I said, well, why is it that okay, we're shutting down the government. The government's going to be shut down if we don't come up with an agreement. Then all of us are paying that price. We're all going to pay that price while it's shut down until we come up with agreement. But no. Us congressmen, yeah, we still get our pay.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Doesn't
affect
affect
us
theirs.
at all.
Yeah.
The only government workers that it is the small guy.
Yeah.
The guy working at the parks and stuff.
Doing the
Military probably won't
stuff.
get their pay
Yeah, the military
until
Yeah.
until we get this agreed, and then
Yeah.
and of course then everything's back paid.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all back paid. Us congressmen, no, we still get our pay. It's not going to affect
Well,
us, but we're going to fight for you.
That's why you want to be in Congress for 40 years.
Well, yeah.
You're secure.
Well, yeah.
You're taken care of. You're
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
living high on
you
life.
are
You're
above the law when it comes to stock
stocks
trading,
and trading. I mean, it's
mean,
a hell of a
and
gig.
your $170,000 a year, and then you got bribists, which they want to call lobbyists,
Obvious.
but they come in and they fancy your pocket a little bit.
Mhm. Slip a little under the table.
Yeah.
Said, yep.
Yeah.
You stroke me, I'll stroke you, and by God,
Right.
we're all friends. And
Yeah.
got that done. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a hell of a government. It's
Well,
a hell of a country. My God. The
I
way
mean, who
things are
would have
done
thought?
sometimes.
Who would have thought back in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, especially the 60s, that if my granddad, who passed away in 1976, before he passed away, if he would have told me that, son, 2024 unions are going to be voting for Republicans, and there's no way. There's no
You
way.
would have never thought that. Yeah.
No way is a
No, that's
union
not
member
happening.
going to vote for a Republican.
Exactly.
No way.
Yeah.
No damn way. And then you have the president of UAW, I believe, or Teamsters, that went to talk at the Republican National.
Yeah.
Com-
Well, that's how far left the Democrats went, though.
They have
They
gotten
went so
so
far.
far. Yeah.
Left and woke, like
Just
you said.
woke.
That just even the common folk man who goes to work, woman who goes to work every day, puts in the time every day, goes, this ain't right.
Right.
We're not supporting that no more.
Right.
We're going to support people who support the working man.
Right.
And just because that was always a slogan, though. The Democrats always support the working man. They always
Right.
support, and then you don't show it no
Right.
more. And
And you get
people
that
get upset
far.
with it, and generations move on. Different
Right.
people come in all the time. The people from the 60s, a lot of them are here who worked in the
Right.
unions. Now you've got some
Right.
who are a lot younger and look at it differently. They go, well, hell, this isn't right.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, even Mayor Adams said about the Democratic party in that interview with Martha
Uh-huh.
that Democrats were talking at people instead of talking to people.
Two people. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah,
He
exactly
damn
right.
Yeah.
That is a
And they've got to change their ways.
right.
They really do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
that's
that-
not going to float no more.
I think the
That is-
American people have woke up and said woke isn't the way.
isn't the answer. No,
Right.
we're not going down that road.
Right.
No.
Now you're going to have a lot of them that are still going to, well, not a lot, but most of them going to have that attitude that, oh yeah, it's working. You know, it's working.
Well, they're going to be standing by themselves.
Yeah, and there was a lady, I don't know, congresswoman, purple hair, big green glasses, and she was talking about that agreement budget, and they said that this is a woman that said that for that there should be a woman crash dummy just to make it fair. That's
Oh boy.
just
Wow. Okay. I don't know how to answer that. I don't have an answer for that. God bless her.
oh my God, yeah. Just so everything be equal, then we need a woman crash dummy.
A woman crash dummy.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some out there. I'm sure there's kids crash dummies. Throw a
Right.
kid in the back seat, see what it does when it
Right.
hits the wall. I'm sure that they do that.
Yeah. Hey, did you get to see
Oh, Jesus.
the NCAA president on Capitol Hill the other day?
No, what was he up there for?
Oh God. Hell, I don't know. He was
Oh.
he had everything. Nothing was his responsibility or his issue. It was all federal. It was a federal law.
So did they ask him to come
Yeah.
up? and
Yeah,
testify?
he was on. Yeah, he was up at.
What's the Fed's problem with the NCAA?
Letting biological men play in women's sports. And why doesn't he? And through the testimony, Howley really tore into him. And through his testimony, then the end result is that it is the woman's responsibility to find accommodations if she feels uncomfortable with a biological man in the women's locker.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
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 If anybody holds has one of our tournaments, then they need to bring up the accommodations. They're supposed to have the accommodations. So it was like, well, what? I mean, I don't know. We might find time to go on here to let you listen to some of this.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, I was like, what the hell? So, and Howley said, so you do not believe that the NCAA has any responsibility in this at all. Not at all, and that it's not your, let me see, we could find this. Let's see. Ah, damn it, we need us okay, here we go. 6-minute clip here.
Thanks, Senator Schiff. Senator Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Baker, if I could just start with you, I confess I didn't understand your answer to Senator Kennedy's question about the safety of women in sports.
Kennedy gave him a heck of a run too.
Did you say the federal law requires the NCAA to permit biological men to play in women's sports?
No, I said there have been 5 cases in federal court in the past 18 months. And
Okay, because I thought you
all 5
told
of
him
them
that
federal
the
judges
NCAA
sided
couldn't
with
the
participation.
reason the NCAA couldn't take a position on this. In fact, you have taken a position on it. You're affirmatively permitting biological men and women's sports. But you said to him it's because of federal law. There's no federal law that requires it, right? The relevant federal law is Title IX, is it not? You're familiar with Title IX.
If guidance on this issue from Title IX or guidance with respect to discrimination law would be
Title IX is already
that
the law.
the
Title IX says
federal judges have
it's
ruled
20
on this.
USC Section 1681A. By the way, let's just dispense with that, Kennard. No federal court has ordered the NCAA to include biological men and women's sports, right? There's not a single case that has ordered the NCAA to do so, correct?
That's pretty much what they decided in the
No,
Senate.
don't say pretty much. This is
Just a yes or no
we're
question.
talking about
Right.
the law here.
Yes,
And
I know.
you actively dissembled to Senator Kennedy just a second ago. It's not true that the NCAA has been ordered by any court, number one. It's not true that federal law requires you to include biological males. In fact, Title IX explicitly says no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be denied the benefits of any educational program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. You are in court at this moment arguing that Title IX doesn't apply to the NCAA, which is astounding to me, given the amount of money, federal money, the NCAA gets. But let me just ask you this. A total of 5 teams, 5 women's volleyball teams, Wyoming, Southern Utah, Utah State, Nevada, and Boise State, all had to forfeit 7 games in their conference play, NCAA conference play this past year. Women's teams, because a biological male, under your rules, was playing on a rival's team. How is that not denying them the benefits of the sport? Why is this fair to women?
And when that issue went to federal court, the judge sided with participation.
No, the NCAA did not go to court.
No,
that is
when
not
they-
true.
The federal judge made the decision with respect to the issue you just raised.
Your rules have not been tried in federal court, and your rules explicitly permit biological males in women's sports. And I am asking you, why is that fair to the women? All of these women on these teams had to forfeit games and therefore a chance to compete in the championship because of your rules. And I want to know, why is that protective of women? That's my question.
So far, the federal government on the court side has issued decisions several
No,
times
I'm not
in
asking
the
you
last
about the
year.
courts. I know what the courts have done. Not one
Well,
of them
that's
has
their
ordered the
interpretation of federal
NCAA.
law.
This is your policy, which you will not defend because, frankly, it's indefensible. Why are you, Mr. Baker, why are you allowing biological men to play in women's sports?
Because we believe that's consistent with federal policy.
So
It's
we're right
not-
back to your compelled. Your testimony is you believe you're compelled to do it by federal law. You would change it otherwise?
We believe our policy. I said in my opening comments to Senator Kennedy, the clarity on this issue at the federal level would be very
Oh,
helpful.
that is such a cop-out. In other words, somebody else please do it for us. Keep sending us the money. We'll go to court
We
and
don't-
argue
by
that
the way,
Title
we do
IX
not
doesn't
take-
even apply.
We do not take a dime in federal money. Not a dime.
Is that why you're arguing Title IX doesn't apply?
No,
here?
yes, part of it, yes.
You honestly think you shouldn't be subject to Title IX?
We don't believe we currently are in federal court.
Amazing.
Federal court is affirmed.
Absolutely amazing. You have a pending lawsuit right now from female athletes who are suing you because you allow biological men not only in their sports but also in their locker rooms. Why do you do that, by the way? Why do your guidelines allow biological men into women's locker rooms without the women's consent, without the women's foreknowledge? Why do you do that?
That's not what our guidelines say.
They do say that. I've got them right here. Your guidelines say
So
that transgender student athletes should be able to use the locker room, shower, and toilet facilities in accordance with their gender identity.
And
Here
then
they are, right here.
And then everybody else should have an opportunity to use other facilities if they wish to do so.
Okay, so the burden's on the women. So if the women then want to move to a different facility, in other words, if they want to abandon their own locker room, you're saying that they should have to do that? So in other words, it's their problem?
No,
That's
we
good.
put a significant amount of emphasis on what the locals' plans are, and we make sure that everybody.
What does that mean, the locals plan?
Whoever it is that's hosting the event.
You have guidelines that instruct them what the best practices are, and your guidelines say that biological men can go in and use the women's locker rooms if they want to. What the women want has nothing to do with it. They're not mentioned in here at all. Correct? Correct. It's right here. You just reaffirmed them in May of this year. I've got them. I'm reading them.
No,
I've got them off
I
the
believe
website.
I believe our guidelines give people optionality with respect to how they facilities.
Oh,
And many
optionality. What it says is transgender student athletes will be able to use the locker room, shower, and toilet in accordance with their gender identity. That means men will be able to use the women's locker rooms. And as Riley Gaines and others have testified before this committee, that means if a man, a biological man, wants to use their locker room, they just have to accept it. Or else the women have to go somewhere else. They've got to go find an alternative. Why is that fair?
we told the local folks who hosted our tournaments they need to create accommodations for the people who are playing.
You know, so it's the feds on the one hand, it's the locals on the other hand. The only person who doesn't seem to bear any responsibility in this is you and the NCAA, who are the governing body. And your testimony here today is you're not even subject to Title IX. Mr. Baker, I can't tell you how disappointed this makes me, but not just disappointed, frankly, infuriated for the student athletes who are suffering because of your policies, and you won't even defend them. You won't even take responsibility. It's outrageous. It's totally outrageous.
So,
Wow.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congrats.
oh, damn it. Yeah. So,
Wow. That's
isn't that something?
a man should be a car salesman.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's so much damn double talk. I mean,
So I'm taking it that he believes that in transgenders should have the right to a woman's restroom.
well,
Or
Yeah.
you would make a policy,
a policy.
that says no,
you're
you
you're
can't.
the head of the NCAA.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you're not some flim flam little company
Right.
down the street. This is
Right.
a huge organization. I mean,
Yeah.
and you have the power to make the policy of
Make-
how damn hard can that be, Thomas? Okay, you trans men, whatever.
Yep.
You're in this locker room. All the girls,
Right.
you're in the locker room.
Right.
These buildings are big enough to have locker rooms all over. Come
Right.
on, it's not that hard to do. Why are we making this? Why are we even doing this?
Right.
I'd be so damn upset. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my
Helen?
favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite guy.
Yes.
Because he don't,
Yeah.
he don't.
Rand
He'll-
Paul gets into him, especially
yeah.
Fauci about the COVID stuff.
COVID
But,
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, he put him on the spot, and the guy
Right.
just,
He, federal law. Well, you have never been to court. I mean,
Yeah.
they have never been to court, and yet he won't make a rule. NCAA is not going to make a rule on this because he has made a rule. He believes that a transgender man could be in a
woman's
woman's
room.
locker room. Yeah, taking a shower with her and everything.
And the girls had to forfeit.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them.
Yeah, yeah.
I would too.
That's your only way out.
Yeah,
Hey,
just-
I'm done. We're done. We're not. So and Title IX, where has that gone? I mean,
Yeah.
so all these schools with transgenders on them has just thrown Title IX out the door.
I just, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is just
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a hell of a deal, and it with guys
Disturbing.
like that
Yeah.
running things, it's not going to get any better.
Well, it's disturbing, is what it is.
Right.
It really is.
That's what you would have hoped that he would have said, is that NCAA had a rule that transgender men cannot be in the women's restroom, and we were taken to court and we lost. But he didn't.
They
I mean,
didn't say it. No.
No, they've never been to court. They've just, we're going to sue you. Okay. Yeah.
Damn, Tom, it's just common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Christ's sake, is it
Yes.
more than just common sense?
I mean,
You know, okay, you
come
guys,
up with the
here's your
rule.
room.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be over here, and when you all get dressed, we'll all meet
Right.
here, and we'll have our little meeting and go play.
right?
I mean, how damn hard can that be?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're making it. Well, they say a mole out of a mountain or something.
yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's just
A mountain
something-
out of a molehill.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just something simple. It's just
Right.
It's not that hard to fix.
Yeah.
Even just
What you
know.
want to do with your personal life is your business.
Yeah. I mean, I think
You know.
it's stupid anyway.
Right.
You know, oh, you were born a girl? Okay, girls are over here. Boys are
Boys
over
are
here.
over there.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
That's just blame
Right.
God if you want to.
Right.
But we're not letting you play with the girls.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because you're going to kick their ass.
Right.
Okay, basically.
Yes.
I mean, I just don't.
Yeah.
See, this kind of stuff. Yeah, he's infuriated. Yeah, I just
Right,
If I
and-
had a daughter, man,
and-
I'd
oh,
be nuts. I'd be
yeah.
in somebody's arse quicker than snot.
Yes.
But that's just common sense stupidity
yeah.
right there, and that's
It's basically, I mean, I imagine you do got some Republicans that believe the way a Democrat does, but it's the majority of Democrats that
I'd love to sit down and argue.
I mean-
I'm not much of an argumental guy, but
Right.
I'd love to sit down with somebody across the table and tell me why
right,
men basically should be
right,
dressing with the women. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
you tell me why that's right.
So Tommy now thinks he's Tammy, and we should let him go into the girls' locker room. Why? Why would you
No,
do that?
No, he was born Tommy.
Yeah,
Okay, he changed it, Tammy. That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess you want to.
he's
let him,
old enough to do that.
Yeah, if
then,
the rules
yeah.
let him play. Okay, that's the rules. Even though
Right.
I wouldn't even have that rule. Okay,
Right.
I mean, that's just the way I am. But
Right,
just say, Tammy's going to dress over here.
right.
In a separate locker room.
Tammy, yeah. If
You know,
if you don't want
Will's-
to be with the boys,
Yeah.
then we got a special locker room for you.
and we'll send somebody
Yeah.
for you when you're dressed and everybody's dressed, and
Yeah.
and this is how we're going to do it. I mean, it's not hard to
Right.
figure this out and just accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's too simple to do. I don't know, but
It-
you
it-
see teams forfeit. A lot of these kids go to college. It's their dream to be a part of these teams, to be a part of a
winning team,
championship, and work.
Yes.
And they work hard to
Yeah.
get to this level, and then
and then to
and then you
lose
get
it
there and you
all
go,
because
because this
Tommy wants to be
It's
Tammy and is
and wants to dress with you.
and playing against you.
And playing
You know.
against you, and you're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right, Yeah, I mean-
Interesting. Most of them schools were out west. I
right.
don't know if that means anything or not. I heard
Right.
Utah, Boise State.
Yes.
I think most of them were out in the western plains.
Right.
Which, not sure why that is. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
just coincidental or I
Right.
just thought that was a little odd. But
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that's a simple. No,
Yeah. That
and
should
that
not-
is that the NCAA president?
Yes. NCAA
Holy crap!
president.
Holy,
Yeah. And they do not make a rule. They have not made a rule about transgenders being in women's locker rooms. They won't make a rule. You heard they're not going to sit down and make a rule. He's just
Well, when they're-
he's like, hey, federal government says that we can't do that.
I wonder if them girls will sue the
That's what they're doing.
NCAA
Yeah.
and
There
just
there are lawsuits. Girls are
get
suing.
him in the pocketbook.
Yes.
I mean, doesn't
Right.
matter. He's not going to lose any money.
Oh, God, no.
he's not. And their NCAA is huge. I
Right.
mean, I understand that, but still, the
Because
whole-
I believe he was the one who says that one of the congressmen said that you took over your predecessor made like $2.5 million a year being the president of NCAA. And he says, I'm sure you haven't took a pay cut. So here, and then he says he doesn't get any money from federal. Wow, I don't. Of course, he might be right about that because they're the governing body.
yes,
But they're still, I mean, they have some pull. If I guess if a college is paying them, then it's same as getting money from federal.
yeah.
Somehow they got to be connected
Yeah.
to where they are the governing body. I mean, those schools, of course, they've lost the deal on not paying players.
Yeah.
So now they can
Get
in
paid.
some fashion
Yeah, it's
a player can get
Yeah.
paid being a college athlete.
so much. Yeah, which
Right.
so now that I believe it,
Right.
because those guys are making
Right.
millions
Colleges
of dollars
are making,
for
you know.
the colleges and
And-
the NCAA.
Right,
Oh.
and I know you heard that some of one of the things that President Trump is going to looking to do is eliminate the Department of Education, and that would be nice because if he does, then what they need to do as well is get rid of that the federal government funding these colleges by loans, student loans.
Student loans.
Get rid of that.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. Because now, all of a sudden these colleges are coming up with all of these stupid degrees that a person goes and I want to get a art degree and it's just useless. I
Yeah.
mean, you're
Yeah.
not going to go out and run IBM with an art degree.
Yeah.
Maybe you will. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
You
I'm
know,
not
as
an
crazy
artist,
as this country's getting,
Yes.
we're dumbing it down. We're dumbing it down to
Yeah.
the point to where, we're not going to have smart people running these companies. And as you seen right there,
that shit was dumb. I'm sorry. That guy's didn't
As-
convince me of
as you
anything.
seen right
I
there.
mean,
yeah.
he didn't convince me of nothing.
Yeah. We can't make the rule because the federal government, we've lost 5 times, and you've not been in court. You're telling me that the federal government has told you that you cannot make, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow. Double
Yeah.
talk is what it is.
Exactly.
Double talk.
Exactly.
Oh well.
Yeah. So, but okay. One last thing that I thought of.
All right. Come on. Hey. Shortest day of the year, and you're burning daylight,
Yeah.
son. Let me tell you what. It's December 21st here.
Yeah.
The sun will be going down before you know it.
Yeah. Yeah. And but the good thing is tomorrow we start
Start going back up. Today's good. Longer.
Yeah. You think he's going to eliminate daylight savings? He's talking about doing that.
So
President
what is
Trump
that? I'm confused. What
I am
can
too.
you? Oh, you are too.
I am too.
I
'Cause-
thought we want daylight savings, so we save the daylight.
right.
Am I right?
Right.
So let's change it in.
So
March. Let's change it in April. Whenever we change it
Okay.
next,
yes.
we're going to spring ahead.
right.
So it'll be darker. It'll be lighter at night.
Right.
Because right now it would be locally here in Central Time Zone, it would be 1:49. It would be 2:49.
Yeah.
So, like we move it ahead, so
Right.
it's darker later in the summer.
Right.
But it's darker in the morning, and that's been the big kicker.
But my understanding there is that was what was created, was moving it ahead.
Well, that's what you want to do though,
Yeah, but
because
standard time you would be in what we are now.
all the time.
Yes. So meaning, and someone on the 5, I believe it was, brought up that they went through and did the times if it kept it standard time.
Yeah.
And that the sun would be coming up in the summertime at like 4:21 and going down
If we leave it the way it is
the
now,
way it is right
yeah,
now.
sure you would, yeah, because
It'd be coming up at like 4:30
Yeah,
in the morning
morning.
and going down at 7:30
yes,
at night.
no, we have to move it one more time.
Yeah.
We have to move it, then leave it.
Then leave. You want to leave
We
it
want to
there.
move it one more time, then leave it.
Right.
But the problem is, it's going to be darker in the morning.
Right.
And that's when kids go to school. That was the big thing.
Right.
You don't want kids standing on the corner at
Right.
7 o'clock and it's pitch black out. At least the sun is coming up at, I don't know, 6:37. I
Right.
don't even know when it comes up at the moment. But I think that was the big thing. And the other thing was the farmers thing. The farmers had a deal, didn't like it. But farmers have the equipment now.
Right.
They can work all night.
Well, and
they
too,
can
it
work
was-
all night, and they do. You know?
I think it got started in 76 under Jimmy Carter with the fuel shortage stuff. It was implemented.
So they didn't want people on the highways. So
Right,
we were getting them home early.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
you were getting them home earlier.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know. I was just a kid. Under Jimmy Carter, I would have been like 13 to 16 years old, 17 years old. But I don't remember why it was implemented. I know something about the fuel, that there was a fuel shortage, and it seems like that's what it was.
What it was.
The fuel to help people,
Less people driving.
less
They
people
thought
driving.
people would be less
Yeah.
people driving during later in the.
Right.
But boy, the world's changed. See,
Yeah.
the problem with that, Tom, is back in 75, 76, when I got out of high school, I worked nights. There's nothing open.
Right.
I could, I drove for a living. There was nothing open.
Well, yeah.
But now it's 24/7 world.
But see, let's be honest though about that. 75, 76, there was nothing open because there was nothing.
Well, there's that too. I mean, I'm just talking even convenience stores.
Right, right.
There
Well,
was
yeah, there wasn't that
there
many.
Was nothing. Yeah,
There
there was
wasn't.
nothing.
You had your far and few in between truck stops.
Yes.
You was out there on the interstate, and that was
It's true. Yes.
now. You know,
But now-
you didn't
Now you've got, like I said, it's 24/7 world.
right,
Everything's open
right,
all the time.
yeah,
Unless it's Christmas,
yeah.
basically. I mean,
And plus, you're you got Casey's. You stop
Sure.
at a Casey's. Every other exit on the interstate now, there's a Casey's.
yes.
There's some
Some convenience store.
convenience store,
Yeah,
gas
sure.
station, something.
Yes.
To where back then there
Was nothing.
Yeah.
Everything shut down at
Yeah.
6, 7 o'clock at night. And my
Right.
God, you better had your stuff
Right.
together because nothing was open to go
Right.
to and you were home.
Yeah, you might find a little Ma and Pa gas station,
Yeah.
but like you said, if you were there past 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you were screwed because they wasn't open.
So now, I think times have changed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm all
I mean,
for moving it up and then leaving it, and just try it. Just
Right.
try it for a couple years. People say, this ain't working. This,
Right.
This is a mess.
right.
Hell, Arizona.
Arizona,
Is that the only state, or is there
No,
more?
there's another one.
Is
I
there?
know that there's 2 states, and I can't think of the
That
other
don't
one.
that don't change.
That don't change.
Which I wonder
But,
why.
Yeah.
I don't know the reason why they don't.
Right. Well, they got tired of the inconvenience of
So
it.
states can opt out of it
Yeah, I guess.
whenever they
well,
want.
I know Arizona. And, damn,
I mean,
the other one, like, it wasn't New Jersey, I don't think. New Hampshire, maybe, or something like that.
but you can opt out of it if you
Right.
want to as a state. Just say
Right.
we're not changing no more.
Yeah, we're not changing.
Interesting.
So Arizona, now is in the Mountain Time Zone, and then in the summertime they're in the Pacific Time Zone. So they'll be on California's time. So they're Arizona is an hour ahead of us right now, to where in the summertime they'll be 2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, because we move and they don't.
That-
Gotcha.
right. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That makes
So-
sense. Yeah, I'm all for changing it. Just,
Right.
just
To get rid of the, because that losing an hour, well, that hurts you there. That gets your body to thinking,
well, what time do you go to work
Uh,
in the morning?
I go at, I get up about 3:30
And you got to be to work at 5.
at 5.
What
yeah.
time's the sun come up now? 'Cause
Oh God,
being a retired
It's
man, I don't
6.
see the sun come up no more.
It's like a little after 6.
Is it a little after
Yeah.
6?
Central Time? Yeah, 6.
So
Yeah.
if we spring ahead, it'll be a little after 7.
Right.
Even though we're going to start gaining some time, so
Right.
maybe the sun, but it'll
Yeah.
be.
Then the sun won't go down till like 9 to where, or 8, 8:30,
Which is fine.
which depends on what part of the year you're at. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
so, but yeah, it won't go down until 8:30. So it'd be a hell of a lot better going if they do. But I think it's going to stay at this time.
Okay.
So if he gets into office, it's going to be, he might. I mean, if he does it quick, because he got March is when the times are going to go back.
Is that when it goes back? Yeah. So he'd
yeah.
have to do it real quick.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if that takes a act of Congress to do that, or
geez. Yeah.
if he can do it with an executive order. But- yeah. So
all right. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean,
right. Yeah, it's it'd be nice, I guess. Like I say, you love that hour that you gain, or that you gain
Well-
in sleeping. But boy, to lose that hour getting up, like when we spring forward,
pretty
here.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna suck.
Yeah. I think it'll just affect people differently. Everybody's got their own
Right.
kind of deal. When
Right.
they're out and about, it might be good for some, and some others might be like, nah,
Right.
this isn't what I like at all. But
Right. So one last thing here that I was talking to you about, and then we got talking about daylight savings time. Okay. So what? It's going to put you on the spot a little bit here.
All right.
All right. Give you a minute to think about it. What is your favorite sports movie?
Wow. Good question. That is a good question. I can't think of the movie. It's a baseball movie. Probably
Okay.
a baseball movie. It isn't. I was going to say Bull Durham,
Right.
which I really liked. But there's another one with Clint Eastwood and Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
And I can't remember the
Trouble
name.
with the Curve.
Trouble with the Curve. I do love that movie.
Yes.
I will stop and watch that all the time.
Yes.
I think that is
That was a
I really
good one.
liked that movie. I'd have
Yes.
to think a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
I might be able to come up with something else, but that one,
Right.
Trouble with the Curve, yeah, that is. I really like that movie.
Yeah.
And I think Justin Timberlake's really good at it. I
He
mean,
did it.
He's really good.
They have
The
good
guy's
actor
got a
in
lot
that.
of talent. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Plus, it had, I think it had Amy Adams in it. If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. She's a hottie.
Yeah.
So
She's easy on the eyes.
yes, she is. Yes. So yeah, I would have to think. Maybe I think a little bit harder. Maybe next time we get together, I might
Right.
come up with something different. But off the top of my head, real quick, would be a baseball movie. I can't think of a foot. I'm not into the hockey movies or foot.
Right.
I mean, you could go with Brian's song.
Right.
That's going way back.
Right.
But I can't think of too many.
See, and that's
Well, you
the
could-
name of that movie. Then that was a tearjerker.
Oh,
there,
yeah,
wasn't it?
that's what-
that was the Chicago Bears.
So Gail Sayers and Brian Piccolo, who had
Yes.
cancer and died, and they were teammates and
Yes.
roommates, and
Yeah.
that's a tough one to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tearjerker.
But yeah, there's a lot of others though. I mean, too. I think I can't think of a movie. Boy, Sandra Bullock's in it, and I don't know. She starts raising some big kid who's a lineman. Or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
that was yeah.
Well, I
know.
can't remember names, but that's a good
Right.
movie. and-
Damn it. Not sideline. Damn it. Yeah, I know which one you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah, that's a good movie.
Tim
too.
McGraw.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that one.
yep, that's a good movie
Yeah.
too. And
Yeah.
and then you got the one with the We Are Marshall with McConnelly. Is that his name?
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's We Are Marshall. It's about the Marshall football team that I think the whole team
Right.
plane went down and something like that, and they kind of come back. Stuff like that, but
Yeah.
there's a few good ones out there. But
Yeah. For
Trouble with the Curve.
that's
I can sit and watch that all the time. I
Yes.
think that's a pretty good show.
that's a good one. I can also. I mean, my favorite. I like that Trouble with a Curve, but I think my all-time favorite is Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought you might say that.
Yeah. I could
That's a
watch
good
that
movie
one
too. Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. That's a good one too.
Yeah. I not been up there. Wouldn't mind going up there and checking that field out. Of course, now that they've MLB'd it, I don't know if it'd
Have
be the
they-
same
have they
effect.
built around it basically, and yeah.
Because I think I don't know. Did they have? They had a major league game there
Did they
this
have
year,
one this year?
didn't they?
This past year,
Was
I'm
it
not
the
sure.
Cardinals and Cubs, maybe.
Might have been. Not sure.
Yeah. But that Brian song, that was I remember
Oh,
because that
yeah.
wasn't that back in the
Oh, my God, that was
70s.
70s, yes. Oh, yes, that's
Yeah.
going back 50 years. My
50
friend.
years,
Hard to believe.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and just like that, 1974 was 50 years ago.
I know it.
Ain't that something?
Where'd it go?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. You were graduating high school. Was it in 74 you graduated?
75.
75.
You're close.
Okay. Yeah. I would have been 11 years old in 1974.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of good times.
Yes.
Back in high
Yeah.
school.
So,
Too many to mention, and probably not legally to even mention some of them. But
yeah. Well, in today's time, it'd be legal. It's
yeah,
all
yeah, I
legal.
think everything. Yeah, it was okay. It was just kid fun back
Yeah.
then. But anyway,
Yeah.
it was fun.
So,
We had a good time.
but, well, all righty. Well, I sure hope you had a great time today, Mr.
I had a great.
Zig.
One more thing
What? Okay. One more thing.
to everyone, and Thomas too. Merry Christmas.
Merry
By golly,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all you guys.
Merry
out there.
Christmas
By golly.
and Happy New Year to everyone.
And we'll let you know we do say Merry Christmas here.
yes.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
not go down that road.
Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah.
catch you next time.
Yes. Later, everybody. Bye.